Understanding self-doubt is the key to overcoming it. Now, self-doubt stems from the ego. It's the ego's job to keep you safe. And so whenever you go to step out of your comfort zone, you go to step out of that safe little box, you want to try something new. And as soon as you go to do that, that is when self-doubt starts to creep in. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. People might laugh at me. That is your ego that is trying to keep you in the comfort zone, in your safe little box, because the ego doesn't like the unfamiliar. The ego likes the familiar, so it tries its best to keep you in the comfort zone by self-doubt. And the thing is, though, is in the unknown is where the magic happens. You've got to step out of that comfort zone in order to grow. So it's really just understanding your ego and how the ego operates, and then not allowing the ego to control you. And here's another cool, interesting little fact, and that is most successful people, these people that, maybe on social media with these big followings and they're earning like lots of money, 6 or 7 figures a year. All these people experience self-doubt and imposter syndrome at the beginning of their journey towards success, right? So it happens to everyone. It's normal. And when you understand that this is just a normal thing that everyone goes through, it's another great reason to not allow it to control you and to keep you in that comfort zone. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 practical tips for dealing with your self-doubt when it does come up. And so the first tip I have is meditation. Creating a daily meditation practice will keep your self-doubt and that ego quiet. Now, this is because as you go into a meditative state, and I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos, but as you go into a meditative state, when you close your eyes, you're disconnecting from the external environment, and your neocortex, which is part of your brain, will start dropping your brain waves. And you drop from beta brainwave to alpha and then into theta. When you drop into theta brainwave, this is when you've dropped out of your head and you're in your heart. This is when you drop out of your head and into your heart and you're in that theta brainwave, this is when your ego goes quiet. You have no thoughts. And you become pure consciousness because you're connected to your heart instead of the mind. Once you're in that state where, you've dropped out of the head, ego's gone quiet, this is where you can actually start tapping into the higher frequencies, the elevated emotions. You can start feeling, happiness and joy and peace and love and gratitude in the body, and allow yourself to just soak in these higher emotions, these higher frequencies. And then what happens is you'll come out of the meditation and you'll spend the rest of the day still operating in these elevated emotions, and your ego will stay quiet for the rest of the day. So this is how you keep the self-doubt away. This is how you basically shut up that negative inner critic. And that negative inner critic isn't actually you. That is someone else's voice that has been planted in your mind instead. And this normally happens in childhood, the way we're treated as children, how we're getting spoken to. So that negative inner critic is not you. But that is how you basically get it to shut up. If you commit to doing this every day, that's what will keep it away and keep you operating in these higher frequencies. And then by operating in these higher frequencies, you actually perform better and get better results with whatever it is you're wanting to pursue. Now, the second tip I have is to brainwash yourself. And this is because, like I said, we have that negative inner critic, and that voice is not ours. That's someone else's voice that's been planted in our mind. So in order to get rid of that negative inner critic, we need to brainwash ourselves with positivity instead. So the way your mind works is it's basically like a computer that runs on programs. And if you aren't brainwashing yourself, you're not brainwashing your mind, you're not programming your own computer, the world will brainwash you for you. And if you allow the world to brainwash you, you will most likely have negative brainwashing that won't serve you. So this is why it's really important to consciously brainwash yourself every day with positivity so that you have positive programs running in your mind. The way you can brainwash yourself is you can just use like subconscious programming audio recordings, which there are heaps of these on YouTube. And basically you just want to use a hypnosis that will program your mind for success and wealth and abundance. So there's two ways you could do this. The first way is just having it playing in the background while you're pottering around your house doing things like you could be making your breakfast, preparing your tea, brushing your teeth, getting ready in the morning, and you just have some type of audio recording just playing in the background, you know, that's just positivity, wealth, success, abundance, all that good stuff, so that your mind's constantly got this information going into it every day. Now, it's even more effective if you do this while meditating. You put some headphones on, you go into a meditative state to allow your brainwaves to drop into theta. And this is because when you're in theta brainwave, you are in your subconscious mind. You are in your operating system. So if you're listening to an audio recording to, you know, for like success, wealth, abundance, that is going straight into your subconscious mind. And that's going to program it so that you'll naturally have these positive thoughts. You'll naturally, you know, have these thoughts of like, I can do this. I am good enough. Rather than having that negative inner critic always talking to you. Now, the third tip I have is to feel it. And what I mean by that is allow the self-doubt to be there. If you're feeling the self-doubt, allow it to be there and don't resist it. And I learned this from Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go. So he talks about the letting go technique, and basically it's about how to deal with emotions. So he says, you know, if there's one of these negative emotions that come up, so self-doubt, for example, allow it to be there, don't resist it, sit with it, and just observe it. And what happens is it will pass through. The emotion will just eventually just disappear, and you'll naturally feel lighter and more positive. So we haven't really been taught to feel our emotions. And he even talks about how like a lot of us are walking around with repressed or suppressed emotions in the body that can create a lot of problems in our life. And so by using this technique, you're able to just clear these emotions out of the body and it will just disappear, and it will raise your vibration. You'll feel a lot lighter and a lot happier. So don't fight the self-doubt. Don't resist it. Just sit with it, observe it, and it will just work itself out and disappear, and you'll feel better for it. So those are my 3 tips for overcoming self-doubt. And if you got some sort of value out of this video, let me know by hitting the like button or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I hope you have an awesome day. Peace.